If you're a business owner struggling to get your team to perform, where you need to step in order for them to deliver up to your standards, you gotta check their work before you pass it over to the client. And it's actually creating more work for you because you gotta sell, you gotta maintain the client's communication, but also now you need to step in and deliver for your customers. Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of why exactly is it that more leadership training is not going to work, or team management skills, or actually training more of your team in order to own the processes, or even SOPs and systems and project management tools. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm the founder of ScaleYard, and I help expert-led service businesses, whether you're a consultant, an agency owner, and you're in that process of building a small team. I help you transfer your expertise into your team so that they can perform and you can finally have the trust that allows you to say yes to more projects with confidence. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of why exactly is it that those solutions that you have been told are not really working out for you. So let's start with the most common solutions. You go ahead and hire somebody to start helping you. You see more projects in, you get a second team member, and now you're 3 people. But for some reason, you are not seeing the results that you would like. It doesn't matter whether they are freelancers, they are subcontractors, or they are interns, team members, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have a project with a customer and you're getting help to deliver that work in order to handle all the processes and everything that is happening around you. Now, you try to sit down and sort of document your processes and create standard operating procedures. But for some reason, this is not working. Whether you did it before they joined the team or after, the thing with the SOPs is that an SOP captures a very small window in a big process. And so it's really hard for an employee that is just coming in to have the overview of what exactly an SOP does. Because compared to a large multinational company where they have manuals and there's people for every single role, the people that you hire in the beginning, they need to understand everything that is happening within the business. They need to understand what it is that you're thinking. They need to understand how the project goes and how things work. And so when you develop SOPs, first, if you don't use them to train the employees and you're bringing them after and now you expect them to start using them, well, they have been trained to operate without them. And so it's really hard to build the habits after they have shown up. But not only that, the SOP is incomplete because it doesn't show how your business is run. Let's say that you have tried investing in your leadership skills, in your communication skills, in your team management skills. This is all really good. But what happens is that when we are going from 1 person to 3 to 5 people team, you actually are required to completely redesign your business. And that's where I want to jump into the iPad to show you a little bit of what is happening here. First thing is that we need to understand how a business actually grows. According to the founder of Rakuten, which is sort of the Japanese Amazon, he says that companies normally grow in multiples of 3, 1, 3, 10, 30, 100, 300, 1000, and so on. And so normally when we start, we already have to, we're handling every single thing that happens in that business. And therefore, when we now achieve capacity somewhere around the 8 to 10K, and we want to bring people in to help us out, we struggle to make this transition because when we hire people, we are not just becoming a team of 3. We are incorporating two new people to help us out with our processes. At that moment, everything has been designed to go through you. And so whether you have a team and you have clients, let's say this is your clients and this is your team, what happens is that everything has been designed up to that stage to go through you. And so you do quality control, you check the team's work before the client sends it, you collect the feedback from the client, you pass it along, and so you control the communication, the information flow, you have the full overview. And when you bring people in, if you keep them in that relationship, by design, you are limiting the size of your business. This is why very often I see service businesses where the expert has the knowledge and is trying to get their team to perform to cap out, because basically they want to grow and build the closest reference I found is you want to build a restaurant that has the revenue and capacity of 30 chairs, when in reality you have only 5 chairs. But because in a service space this is intangible, you don't really see it, and then you're left wondering, why is it that we're not making more money? How can we earn more? Why is it we are so capped? And that is because of this situation. And so what do we need to do in order to go from that one person to a 1 to 3 to 10 people business? How are we gonna actually bring these people in so that now we are 1, 2, 3 people business, or we continue adding more people and we really perform as a team rather than you being a sort of glorified freelancer consultant that basically you're just overbooked and overwhelmed, and then trying to bring people to perform together with you so that you become a actual business owner by allowing your team to perform and take over delivery, and that way you can focus on selling with confidence. Well, the biggest thing here is that we need to remove you as the biggest bottleneck here in this system, and we need to start connecting your team together with your clients, or remove you and put somebody else as the project manager, and then have that person be the main point of contact. Regardless of whatever you may think of, we need to move you here to the sidelines. But obviously this means that you need to give away control, and that is the biggest pain when it comes to doing this process. Basically, you go from having all the responsibility and authority, and it's really easy for us to give away responsibility to our team members, because it's like, okay, you're the person in charge, this is what the responsibilities of this role, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it, all right, let me know if you have any questions. But we forget to also transfer that authority, and that means baby steps. That means that in the beginning, when you're learning, you have capacity to make decisions up to this level of impact, whether it is money or time or whatever it may be. You can define that, and then as the person grows within the role, little by little you transfer more authority to them. The problem here is that when everything depends on you, you develop the way of working according to that, and so you adapt to each customer. Maybe with some customers you work through emails, some with Trello, some with Slack, some on the phone, and so not everybody has the same information at the same time, which is why your team members struggle to perform, because you're holding back information that is crucial for them. But in your mind, some of this stuff is just logical and it just makes sense. And so you don't think about that they may need this information. And so when we have all these different tools to manage our projects, one for collaboration, one for communication, one for tracking, one for communication, collaboration, tracking. Actually, these are the key elements here. What happens is that we have those information silos. And what we need to do is bring all this to one place. And right now, I know that many people in the service space are using ClickUp. But the problem that I see with ClickUp is that it has a lot of features that force you to feel like you need to use them. And so it just adds complexity to the whole overall process because you have more things that you really need. And here what we want to do is actually scale through simplicity, allowing people to not operate within the chaos and complexity of a service business, but instead just constantly simplify things as much as possible so that clients get the most rewarding experience and the best results, as well as our team members. And that's why we use a tool called Basecamp. When we bring together these three, you're able to step back, and then you have the team take over. But most importantly is that in the process of doing this, you map out your intellectual property, you understand how it is that you do things, you become aware of what happens when, how it is that we work with clients, and then you turn that into a system that you laid out within Basecamp, but then also you develop the trainings accordingly for people to go through in your team so that they understand how it is that they need to do things. And that way, now they not only know what they need to do and how to do it, but you can also then support them on why they need to do it. They understand how it is that their work contributes to the ultimate picture of the business, making it relevant and understanding why it is that they do what they do. When you have this, now you start to see your team perform. You're able to take a step back and actually simplify things for them, eliminating the chaos that is pulling you back into delivery, making it hard for them to perform, but instead allowing them to take over and you having the confidence to say yes to more projects. If this is something that you're struggling with and you want to know more about how we can help you in your business, then go ahead and click on this video or below to better understand what it is that is holding you back as we go more in detail into this and how it affects your business. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm the founder of ScaleYard, and thank you so much for making it this far. If you like videos like this, or if you have any questions about your team performance, drop it in your comments and make sure to subscribe so that you can get the next video as we drop them in every week. Cheers. Thank you so much.